Now I'm going to open it up to the audience to ask questions. I have one in the chat, so I'll go first. This first question Dylan will answer, and then Lakshmi, you'll answer the same question. So the first question for you from someone in the audience is, what are some personal initiatives that you have planned?
One personal initiative that I have planned is to, like I said before, create a one-stop shop for students who will be able to go and get resources and have access to all the college offices as well as programs that will be able to help them be successful as students. Because one of the reasons that we are here is to ultimately get an education and a degree, put along with organizations and community on campus. So I would seek to create that with the Division of Student Affairs. And I will also work with the Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion to make sure that all student organizations on campus are being able to utilize their position and look through the lens of diversity, equity, and inclusion with all their programming and events. This will be done by monthly meetings with different orgs, inviting them to the student government general body so that they'll be able to become more socially aware and more informed. The next thing that I will do is work with.
Okay, Dylan, your time has elapsed. Up next, Lakshmi, you'll answer the same question. The question was, what are some personal initiatives that you have planned?
So my current work as planning strategist on the Structural Innovation Task Force kind of looks at our internal structure within student government so that we can be the most efficient and best advocate for our students. I would like to continue this work into my role as executive vice president next semester by just creating a more streamlined input and output system within student government so that we're addressing every student issue and concern, and we're putting it through our internal operations team and addressing it the way that it needs to be addressed. And I would directly work with the executive vice president to implement this initiative. I really do believe that every student voice on campus deserves to be amplified, and I think this would be the best way to address it. And also throughout our campaign, we've released our platform as well into 3 pillars: renew, reform, revitalize. And I would also want to closely make sure that we're renewing the college's commitment to the projects that were paused during COVID, reform student government's outreach by creating that constituent input process, like I was saying, and revitalize our relationship with members of campus governance and administration.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Chris, I have a couple more in my chat, but did any come your way?
None from mine.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so next question, Lakshmi, you'll go first, Dylan, you'll go after. Next question from somebody in the chat is, why run for executive vice president and not just straight to president?
Right now, a lot of my current work as chief of staff already aligns with what the executive vice president would be doing or should be doing. And that's just where my interest lies as of right now in my current position. As chief of staff, I take our minutes during general body meetings, send weekly recaps to our members, just chair the internal operations team, and just oversee the student input forum. And this, just by closely working with the current executive vice president, I feel as though I'm best prepared to take up the role of executive vice president specifically next year.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Okay, Dylan, the same question will go to you. The question was, why run for executive vice president and not just straight to president?
Although I have been in student government since my freshman year, I do believe that I still have a lot to learn about this organization when it comes to being president. And that's one of the great things about me. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to say that I don't know something. I would never go and represent the student body misinformed and without knowing all information. So I chose to run for executive vice president because I believe that what I'm doing now with with sophomore class council being president best helps me align with this position by overseeing other members, making sure that initiatives are being met, making sure that tasks are being done, as well as my personal skills. I am a member of many clubs on campus, and I know how to network with people. I know how to understand people. I know how to speak and make sure that people are okay. I know how to make sure and recognize when something is going wrong with something is not going correct with someone. And I believe that these skills that I gained outside of SC, as well as the skills that I gained within SC, best aligns me with the executive.
Okay, Dylan, your time has elapsed. Chris, anything? I have another one in my chat.
I have one too, but like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors? Okay.
Yeah.
So like last one. So what are some skills and experiences is like you have gained outside of student government, and how will you use them to strengthen your work as executive vice president?
Okay, so for this one, Dylan, you'll go first. Lakshmi, you'll go after.
Outside of student government, I really worked on my speaking skills when speaking with other people, as well as my time management skills and organizational skills. I am a member of the college ambassadors, where for twice a week for the past few weeks, I go and speak with families, educating about the college, as well as networking with different students and officials and administration. And outside of SG, I also am a member of the Pre-Law Society, and I also have connections with administration as well as different professors on campus. And that position taught me organizational skills. And being executive vice president, you need a ton of organizational skills because you are the main person that makes sure the organization runs smoothly. These skills that I've learned, such as being able to take meeting notes, being able to delegate tasks, and also being able to sit on a committee and on a council where representing a whole class, has prepared me for the work as executive vice president. And
Okay. Dylan, your time has elapsed. Lakshmi, same question for you.
So apart from currently serving on an executive board level in student government, outside of it, I am the president of Women in Learning and Leadership, where I've learned how to manage and oversee an entire organization of passionate women, and where we just promote the mission of feminism on campus. And I was saying earlier, I'm also an orientation leader and a recent hire as the college ambassador. And through these positions, I've learned really how to advocate for myself and also serve as a guide for my peers around me. And I've recently also been inducted into Beta Beta Biological Honor Society. And through this organization, I've really learned how to engage in service events that I'm very passionate about, and also work with a group of people that are passionate about the same causes I am as well. And this is sort of related to student government, but outside of little stepping outside of student government, I'm also worked as lobbying chair to advocate for an LGBTQ+ and women's center on campus, which is an initiative that's currently underway. And through that, I've really learned how to advocate for a community that I'm not necessarily a part of. So it took a lot of research and time.
Okay, Lakshmi, your time has elapsed. That exhausts our questions from the audience. We are now going to move